Sadvaitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padana Sahigana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitansha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusate Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Okay, so we are doing chapter 8. We've been doing it for last 2 weeks. Hopefully today we'll be able to finish this chapter. Very important chapter, so we're spending some extra time, which is okay. So we have finished the Seva Parad already. We have started discussing Nama Parad. So we'll just start from Nama Parad. Anyone remembers the meaning of Aparad? Aparad? Anyone can say?
Diminishing satisfaction.
Diminishing satisfaction. Okay, that is good.
Which takes away from Radhika.
Which takes us away from Aradhana or Radhika. Thank you, Mataji. So we should not do any aparad, but yeah, it happens, and that's why Rupa Goswami is writing. We should be very careful of, especially amongst Seva aparad and Nama aparad. Which one is more dangerous?
Nama Prad.
Why?
Because Seva Prad can be overcome by doing some shlokas or unke
Chanting. Just by chanting, Holy Name will forgive us. Yes. Nama aparad.
Nama Prad, there is no, you cannot come back when you do the Nama Prad.
Cannot. If you chant the holy name after doing Nama Aparad, that becomes aparad. We'll talk about it. So Nama Aparad is much more serious, and it says even if you chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, do all those devotional service, but if you're committing Nam Aparad, Bahu Janma Karyate Shravan Kirtanam Tabutana Paya Krishna Pade Prema, you will not get Krishna Prema no matter how many Nams you do. So these are the 10 non-aparad. I will not go through it. How many we did last week? Anyone remembers? I don't.
3.
3. We did 3. Okay. So first one is non-aparad against blasphemy of the devotees. Anyone can expand on it? Just few lines. Anyone? Charumata? No? That's an easy one. Anyone else? Giriraj Prabhu?
Sure, Prabhuji.
What is this aparad, Prabhuji?
So this aparad is the person who has given their life for spreading the name of holy name. We should not talk bad or in a way we should not say blasphemy or say anything wrong about those devotees or those elevated souls.
Okay. What about the neophyte souls?
We should not do it for everyone, actually. That's what this particular Nam Prad says. But Prabhuji, but I always have a doubt when the new devotees who comes in, by times we don't want to, but we have a human tendency to judge them. I think it's my personal wrong thing.
Yes.
But we should not.
We all suffer from that. Yeah, we should be very careful. In Krishna's eyes, there's someone can be neophyte. They may be making some mistakes. Again, if we have to correct some mistakes, again, we have to go through appropriate channels. That's what it is. Huh? So they will make mistakes, no doubt in that. And then maybe we are responsible to correct them. That's also possible. But we correct them as a fatherly or motherly way rather than as a you sinful rascal. Then our seniors are also going to look at us as sinful rascals. So
Prabhuji, one more thing is, I have a one quick question. Last time I forgot to ask about it. It's like, for example, a new person come to the temple and they don't know how to do Dandavat to a Prabhupada, or they don't know that, when you're doing the arti, taking to Prabhupada and offering them, they put hand in it. And some people, aggressively cheat to you. Like, why, as I am the new member there in the temple, I feel bad. And those person, if you scold them, then they won't come to temple again. So I think we should be very careful, right, Prabhu, in that scenario.
absolutely, especially with new people, we have to be very, very tolerant. They don't know the rules. It's not their fault. It's just they don't know. I think I discussed about this example, which I always remember. Yamuna Mataji, when she was cooking with Prabhupada for the deities, she said to Prabhupada, "I want a cigarette break," while cooking for deities.
Oh,
What was the response of Prabhupada? He said, "All right." And when she came back, Prabhupada was like, Prabhupada tolerated so much. So we should
we are
always
nothing in
tolerate.
front of that, Prabhu. Then that
Yeah.
thing to do,
So
we should be tolerant.
yeah, we should try our best. And we are also struggling sadhakas that for new devotees, we never sort of blaspheme them or criticize them, especially in public, never. Even if they're doing wrong, we have also done many, many wrong things. So we have to remember that. And many other devotees have tolerated us. So again, we can correct them in a very nice way, in a private, in a nice setting, basically. Prabhuji, you have done like this, but it should be done like that. And maybe we are not the right person, someone else is the right person. We don't know. We don't have relationship with that person. So we can tell the person who is nurturing that person, their Bhakti Vriksha leader or someone who has a relationship with that person. And again, our view should be compassionate. And if things has to be corrected, they are really wrong, then again, go to the authority and take the proper guidance and then take action. That's in a nutshell. It's a whole seminar in itself, how to not do it.
There is a class also from Amog Leela Das Prabhu, actually.
Yes, there are many, many classes on that, and we should hear that. But the principle is we should be very compassionate. And if
Yes.
some things are wrong, they are wrong. We can't be just sitting around. But yeah, go to the authority and say this is wrong. Please, if the authority tells you to do it, yeah, you do it. Because sometimes you have to do it. Okay, let's move forward. Second offense, we already know that. We'll not discuss that. This is one of the very, very, very grave offense, Guru Avagya. We should not deny the instruction of Guru Maharaj. If he has given instruction which we can't follow, what's the remedy for that? Because it may happen.
We can go back to the Guru and ask
That's
for.
it. So you go back to your Guru Maharaj and say, Guru Maharaj, you have said like that. Maybe I did not understand it properly, or can you please tell me in my particular situation, how can I do that? And they are very, very, very compassionate. And also it says when Guru gives an instruction, he gives Shakti to follow the instruction with that instruction. Suppose we have zero Shakti, for example, Guru gives an instruction. So he has already actually given the Shakti. He says when Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj said to Prabhupada, go to the West for preaching purposes in English language, he had given Shakti to Prabhupada. And this is how the parampara in which we are in, we get the Shakti from our gurus or senior acharyas. So it's not that we are following the instruction with our Shakti. No, Shakti is also coming from them. And when we go back to them honestly, they may either change the instruction or they may tell us the ways how to practically do that particular instruction. As Keshav Maharaj said, I think last week I mentioned, spiritual master instructions can be delayed because we may be in a particular physical, mental situation, but it can never be denied. So if someone, if Guru Maharaj has said, my Guru Maharaj actually said, even if spiritual master is joking, you should take it seriously. My Guru Maharaj said that. So he may be joking, but you should not take that joke as joke. Even in that joke, because they are pure devotees, they're not wasting time. So even in the joke, there may be some instruction to be followed. And also one nice thing with Radhanath Maharaj always says, because he has thousands of disciples, I don't know exactly how many, but 35, 40,000. So he can't meet physically with every single one of them. And someone asked Maharaj how to get instruction from a spiritual master. So Maharaj very nicely said, all my public classes are my private instructions. Such a beautiful statement. So we should never take Guru's public classes as, oh, it's just for everyone. No, no, this is for you. Every single word coming out of Guru Maharaj's mouth, maybe He's not speaking to you in person, but he's still speaking with you. And Prabhupada said, if you follow the instruction of Guru Maharaj as your life and soul, you are never separated from him. And this is how we get guidance from Guru Maharaj. Many times Prabhupada has asked, how do you know what Krishna's desire is? Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, we know from his scriptures what Krishna's desire is. And Prabhupada stopped him and said, no, I just asked Krishna. Prabhupada is like, I just asked. So he was trying to sort of respond to report of Prabhupada. Said, no, I just ask. So how does Krishna is so accessible? Because this person, in this case Prabhupada, is following his guru's instructions so nicely. So Krishna is always there to guide him and support him. Because many times decisions have to be made and we are always confused. Many times we are confused what to do, what not to do. We have sincere feelings, but it doesn't work many times. So we need to take guidance, but the guidance may not be available. So for a sincere soul, it says, very sincere soul, guidance is always available from his Guru, Maharaj, and Krishna. Okay. Sakhi Radhika Mataji, you wanted to add something?
Just Prabhu, regarding the question Prabhu asked and you were discussing, I take this opportunity to just humbly request everyone, even with kids, devotee kids, we have to be very careful by correcting them, because a lot of my friends did not take up Krishna consciousness while we were growing, because they had bad experiences with devotees when they were growing up, because devotees were criticizing and telling them not to do Dandvat from here, why are you in this line? Why are you standing for taking Mahaprasad? Are you greedy? So that kind of expectation from devotee kids, even if they have very high qualified devotee parents, it doesn't mean that they are on the same stage. So we as a congregation, if we take that very seriously and not chastise children in the temple, even though if they are doing something wrong and something really big, then as with the genuine concern and right choice of word, we can speak to their parents. But criticizing and blaspheming children, devotee children, is something which will take them away from Krishna consciousness. And I feel that is also one of the aparadha we are doing, taking away someone away from Krishna.
Yep.
So just that I wanted to share on that.
Thank you, Mother. Absolutely, I totally agree with you. We have to take these kids, as Prabhupada said, they are Vaikuntha kids. So we should definitely look at from that perspective. So anytime correction, and what to speak of correction, actually, I get to learn so much from the kids, to be very honest. You always see them in that perspective, and yeah, you never see them as younger. You see them as senior, and they will speak to you. They will speak to you much better than the philosophy. So yeah, we should respect them a lot. Yes, sometimes parents have to correct their children, but the correction has to be done in a very appropriate way. As a devotee, they are devotees. So devotional life, when Maharaj was saying, does not only start outside our house, it starts inside our house. And there may be some moments where our emotional setup may not be absolutely correct, but again, we have to help each other as much as possible, whether they are kids or whether they are some other family members. And we have to be very, very, very patient, even if they are making mistakes. Very, very patient as much as possible. Thank you, Mataji, for sharing that. Ujjwal Rasa Mataji or Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, just a little more addition on the same thing what Sakhi Radhika Mataji said. I've seen sometimes, like personally, I've seen that, the not just the kids, but the grown-ups also, like who are very new to Krishna consciousness, sometimes if they are talked in a manner that, how come you did this and, you should not be doing this, and like not showing much compassion towards them, that kind of thing lingers in their mind, and it's a bad feeling there which lingers in their minds as well. So it takes a long time. Like I've seen a couple of people, but they moved away because they find that sometimes people can be quite rude, and some people have stayed in Krishna consciousness, but it took them time to get over it. As they matured, they realized that, okay, these things, you just let them go, but it takes time. So even with the grown up people who are new, we should be very careful, I feel.
Yeah, especially with the new people, we have to be more humble, more compassionate. Not that we should not be compassionate to old people, but the point is they don't know. Many times they're just innocent. They're not knowingly doing it. It's just they brought up in a culture where no one told them remove the shoes. Sometimes, some young kids, they will come inside with the shoes. They just don't know. It's not their fault. So we just have to be very, very, very mature. And maturity comes over time and also through Shastra and through hearing. So this little things can make a big impact in our preaching. My Guru Maharaj said once, this movement is not growing because of you. This movement is growing in spite of you. He said in a class, just to let you know, it wasn't a personal private meeting. The point is, he was saying, many of us make many, many mistakes which distract people. But in spite of our making so many mistakes, this movement is growing because he was saying, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so kind, so kind. And also it should make us humble. We are not, we are far from perfection, but still some people get inspiration from us and then we take the credit. This is very surprising. So we have so many struggles and problems ourselves, but if someone gets inspired, it's totally because we are trying to present the words of our acharyas. My Guru Maharaj said, I'm not great, but I have great teachers. I really like this line, huh? So obviously he's great, but out of humility, he's saying, I'm not great, but I have great teachers. So if we always look upon our teachers who are giving us this knowledge, we will be very grateful to them. And we are just a via media. And then we can treat others respectfully as much as possible. Thank you, Mata. Okay, so Gurur Avagya and also devotees Avagya. Try to make everyone satisfied. Now you can't make everyone satisfied, but yeah, if you follow the guidelines given, most of the cases you will be fine and will be staying away from these aparadhs. Okay, let's move forward. What if the Guru falls down? Did we cover that? Okay, we did not. Okay, I think it's an important point. Again, it's something which is not we just read in the books. It can happen. It has happened in the past, so we should know about it. So this is a writing from Bhakti. I'll just read as it is first. Bhakti says that someone may begin as a qualified spiritual master, but due to Vaishnava aparadh, this is talking a spiritual master doing Vaishnava aparadh, he himself may fall down from his spiritual position. If he falls from his spiritual position and if he is no longer able to follow the regulative principles, if he no longer remains favorable to the practices of devotional service and the devotees, then he is not considered Guru anymore. And to disobey him is not an offense. So this is very, very clear statement by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. If that happens, and then he is telling you something, and the famous example is Bali Maharaj and Shukracharya. Shukracharya always told Bali Maharaj about the Vedic scriptures and the teachings, but when the actual time came, he said, do not follow. And Bali Maharaj said, hang on a second, Guru Maharaj, what are you saying? You are supposed to take me towards Krishna. Now you are saying go against from Krishna. I can't do that. And he rejected his spiritual master. Huh? And there can be other cases as well, which you may have seen or heard about. And that's fine. This is what it is. But yeah, if he is in that position, to disobey him is not an offense. Huh? Bali Maharaj disobeyed his spiritual master and Krishna did not tell him, oh, you did Guru Avagya. Huh? That was not a Guru Avagya. So again, in extreme cases, that may happen. So in fact, to the contrary, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that he should be rejected. He should be rejected. So the spiritual master falls down from his devotional perspective. Why he falls down, that's none of our business. Now, internet is full with all those rumors. So that is not what we are talking here. There can be 99% lies there, or there may be some truth which is presented very distorted way. So we're not talking about those things, why that has happened. We are saying what should be our position. Yeah, if we disobey his instructions, then it is not an offense for us. And again, internet is full with rumors, so we should not believe in first instance anyway. Even that has happened, take guidance from someone whom you trust and that get the clarification. Okay, so there's some position on that. Nama Parad Shruti Shastra Nindanam. So any Vedic literature or literature in persons of the Vedic version should not be blasphemed. If you don't understand it, that's fine. Our mind is conditioned. What we should do, go to some senior person and try to clarify that. Why Shastra is saying in page A like that, page be like that. A famous example Prabhupada gave, a stool is untouchable, except it's a cow's stool. So cow dung is considered very, very auspicious. But now you can say, okay, I'm a Brahman initiated. What about my stool? Abominable. Do not touch. If you touch, take bath. That's what Shastra says. Now you are being hypocrite. Huh? One stool is abominable, one stool is not. Yes, this is how the Shastra is. Bone should not be touched. But when we touch the Shankha conch shell, it is very, very auspicious. When you blow the conch shell, it's used in the puja all the time. We start puja with Shank, we end the puja with Shank. Huh? So why Vedic literature is saying that many things we may not able to understand it, we just have to take many instructions as it is. And if you don't understand, seek the clarification. Fifth offense, Tatha Arthvada, to consider the glories of chanting to be imagination. Ajamil chanted one holy name and all the offenses got burned down to ashes. If you chant one holy name of Ram or Krishna, all the sinful reactions go away as the bird go away when a lion roars. You hear these sort of statements in scriptures. Are they exaggerations? Anyone? Are these statements from scriptures or exaggerations? Looking at the deity once can burn away all your sinful reactions. Iskan Puran says if you do Dandvat Pranam, it burns away all your reaction from past sinful lives. If you do Tulsi Parikrama, Yani Kani Chapa Pani, Brahm Hatya Adhikani Cha, even if you've done Brahm Hatya, Brahman Hatya, that reaction is gone. Are these statements exaggeration? No, they are not exaggerations. They are true statements if we approach them in a proper mindset. Ajamil says was very, very sinful, but one quality Ajamil had, he was not an offender. But for us, we may be less sinful, but we are more offenders. Many times our offenses lists are higher than our sinful actions. Ajamil was sinful, no doubt, but he wasn't an offender. He wasn't thinking that, I will do all this murder and kidnapping and stealing money from others, and I'll chant one Ram Nam, and then that will counteract. So that will become an offense, and then it will not work. So it says Ajamil had one good quality, definitely. He did not chant with any aparad, and that's why one holy name worked for him. And then also many times the misconception, especially many people coming from Indian background, Ajamil went back to Godhead straight away. Did not happen. Bhagavatam says he still had to perfect his life for next 15 years. So many times we do not present that, especially in Indian stories. But the proper story is, yes, he had given a second chance. So when we're talking about these statements, it does not mean that, okay, one Ram Nam, you do all the sinful actions whole life. One time, Gauranga Prabhu was telling this past time, he was doing a college program, and in the college program, he was talking about Mahajans. So he asked just randomly, so who's your Mahajan? So one student raised his hand, he said, Ajamil is my Mahajan. And Gauranga Prabhu is like, you didn't find anyone else? He said, why did you choose Ajamil as your Mahajan? He said, Maza bhi kiya aur Bhagavad Dham bhi gaya. He enjoyed his life and he went back to Godhead. So if this is the tendency, it's not going to happen. That we enjoy whole life the way we like. At the end, we just chant Ram. So if we approach the holy name with the calculative mindset, holy name, Krishna says, Ye tha mam prapadante tapsatai vachamyam. Holy name will also approach you with the calculative mindset. Then it will not work. So these statements given in scriptures are absolutely correct. But if you try to cheat Krishna, Krishna will definitely cheat you. Krishna has much more intelligence than you. There's one famous story, I think Swam Bhagavan Keshav Maharaj tells one man was praying to God and he asked, so, my dear God, what is one moment for you? And God says, millions of your years are like one moment to me. And he said, God, how much is the trillions of dollars for you? He said, it's just like a cent for you. So God, can you give me 1 cent of you? He said, can you wait one moment of me? So 1 cent of yours, like trillions of dollars, can you give me? So God said, yeah, you wait one moment of mine. You want 1 cent of mine? Wait one moment of mine, which is like trillions of lifetimes for us. We can't cheat Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Dyutam Chalyatam Asmi. I am the gambling. I am the best gambler, Krishna is saying. So can you be better gambler than Krishna? You can't be, huh? So you can't cheat Krishna. But yeah, if you approach Krishna with an innocent mindset, saral hirday, then Krishna gets very, very pleased. Even if you have apiche sudaracharo bhajate mam ananyabhag, even if you've done many, many sinful actions, it doesn't matter to Krishna. But that moment when you surrender, tab asmai iti sakrade prapannoyam tab asmai iti yachate. Lord Ram says in Ramayana, even if once someone approaches me and says, tab asmai, main aapka hu. Tab asmai, main aapka hu. Lord Ram accepts that person. Because that moment, he's surrendering himself. But if we calculate all this and do aparadh, do sinful actions, then it won't work. So they are not imaginary. They may not work for us because it's not the problem with the process, it's the problem with us. Most of the time, it's problem with us. We don't follow the process correctly, and then we blame the process. Oh, I've been chanting for 20 years, it's not working. Really? Are we really chanting, or are we just counting? Okay, so Harinam Kalpanam, similar thing, give some interpretation of the holy name of the Lord. So we cannot give any interpretations. There are many stories for that. I'll not go. Even Brahma and Shiva, even Lord Vishnu was asked once, what's the glory of chanting one name of your name? Lord Vishnu says, I don't know. Brahmaji didn't know, Lord Shiva didn't know, and they approached Yamraj, he didn't know. Then they said, okay, let's go to Vishnu. It's his name. He would know what's the glory of his name. And Lord Vishnu says, I don't know. And one man who originally asked this question, and Brahmaji, Shivji, Yamraj, who had taken him also to Vaikuntha to ask this question straight to Lord Vishnu. So Vishnu said, I also don't know what's the glory of chanting my one name, but at least this sinful man will stay with me now. You can go back to your abode. So Brahma went back to his abode, Shivji went back to his abode, Yamraj went back to his abode, and the simple person, because he chanted one name of Vishnu in his life, he stayed back with Lord Vishnu. I can say, Acha, mera to ticket pakka, nahi pakka. Don't think our ticket is confirmed. Our ticket is not confirmed by hearing these stories. These stories tell us the big heart of Krishna, how big he can be. But yeah, he can't cheat Krishna. Okay. Seventh offense, this is the one which we are discussing. Nam no baladya sahi papa buddhir. So on the basis of nam, we do papa. So we do calculative pap. So if we do calculative pap, Krishna will also become very calculative. So we cannot do all the sinful actions and say, okay, Ram, it won't work that way. It will, because it will become an aparadhas. Eighth offense, to consider chanting Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities. So you're chanting Ram Nam, I'm doing this Yajna Tapasya. That's all right. No, it's not all right. It says one chanting of Ram cannot be even equalized with the crores and crores of Ashwamedha and Rajasuya Yajna. We can't. Bhakti Rasayan Maharaj came and he was giving a class in Sydney Temple, and he gave the whole class. He started from the inattentive chanting, speaking about it, and he went back to number 10. He says inattentive chanting leads to aparadh 10, and then aparadh 9, 8, and then he finally went to number 1. So inattentive chanting will lead to blasphemy of devotees, including Guru Avagya and all that. So he said all the aparadh starts from inattentive chanting. So this is the root. If we can correct it, we will be saved from so many offenses and then get Krishna Prema pretty fast. Yes, Acharya Mr. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat.
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji,
Dandavat.
would you like to elaborate what is considered as inattentive?
What is considered as inattentive? In simple words, Prabhupada said this. I'm just repeating Prabhupada words. If you're not hearing your own chanting, that is inattentive chanting. So if I'm saying Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So when I chanted this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, I should be able to hear every single word in my own mind. If I'm not able to do that, that's an inattentive chanting. And while chanting, suppose I was thinking about devotee next to me. He's just not a good devotee. He's not even a devotee. Why should he even come into temple and all these things? I'm not hearing my words. So I've finished my one round, but I don't know. Have I done one round or 3 rounds? You understand what I'm saying? That is inattentive chanting. Now, there can be degrees of it. Krishna even tells in Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter to Arjuna. I think it's the 13th verse or 14th verse. I can't remember exactly. But basically he says, when your mind wanders, bring it back. So Krishna acknowledges in front of Arjuna that when you chant, when you do dhyan, meditation, this is time we are talking this Nam Japa, your mind will definitely wander. But Krishna says, whenever it wanders, bring it back. So Krishna does not say if it wanders, your mind default will wander, but you have to bring it back. You have to bring it back. And if you bring it back, even if you attempt it, if I'm not wrong, Bhanu Maharaj said that in one of the classes. He said, even if you attempt to bring it again and again, you may be failed attempt, but you're attempting it. Krishna still considers those attempts, and while you are chanting, while attempting to bring your mind back, as Shuddhanam. So Krishna is extremely kind, and he is giving us so many opportunities. Even if we are doing attempt to bring our mind back again and again, many times what happens? We not only not attempt, we let our mind wander in the whole universe about every single thing except one topic, chanting and listening. Keshav Maharaj, in one of the classes, he was doing question answer. He was re-emphasizing on this point. Please listen to your own chanting, then the benefit will come very, very fast. Yeah, I can see lot many things about inattentiveness, but yeah, this is a basic thing Prabhupada said. Is that okay, Prabhu? Yeah, and it's a long way, especially as I said, I myself on a very, very first stages of this, long way to go for me. But yeah, please pray to the holy name, pray to our acharyas, pray to your spiritual master, then we can get some attention, because that will really generate the results very, very fast. Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Manmohan Prabhu, if you wanted to add something, or Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
Prabhu, just
Krishna.
if we are not able to achieve the state of attentive chanting until we take our last breath in this life, and we still manage to follow the four regulative principles and chant 16 rounds, what's the fate, Prabhu, after that?
You still get the benefit. I'll tell you one story which Bhakti Siddhant Maharaj mentions. There's one of his articles, and I heard that article in class. Bhakti Siddhant Maharaj was a small boy. He was traveling with Bhakti Thakur, because they used to go from village to village for preaching. Bhakti Thakur was a magistrate. And he will take Bhakti Siddhant Maharaj, that time Vimal Prasad, a young guy, with him to assist him in preaching. So one time they were traveling from one village to another village. The village was very far, and they've done preaching whole day. So this village was very far. It became night. They could not reach. There was no phones that time, no WhatsApp messages, no cars. So they will literally walk. So it became night. So in the night time, travelers, what they will do, they will stay in someone's house or in a temple. That was the general procedure. So in this night, it was pitch dark. There was no one around. So they were just walking. On the way, they saw a very old temple, very, very old temple. There's literally nothing there. There's Kandahar. But Bhakti Thakur, okay, we'll just sleep here and start walking next morning. While they were trying to sleep in this old temple, almost broken building, no worship was going on. They could see there, but they could see this temple. In the night, a Rakshas came, Brahma Rakshas, trying to disturb their sleep in different ways. We've heard this similar instance with Prabhupada as well, but this is with Bhakti Thakur. I really like this story. So this Brahma Rakshas was coming. It was very, very fierce. He was trying to disturb. But Bhakti Thakur, a pure devotee of Krishna, was completely cool and calm. And when he was trying to disturb, Bhakti Thakur could understand this is just a soul which has done some offense, and that's how this soul has taken this form. He was completely cool. Bhakti Siddhant Vimal Prasad was completely cool. And he, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, chanted Hare Krishna mantra for this soul and sprinkled some water on this Brahma Rakshas. This Brahma Rakshas got relieved from that Bhayankar Yoni of Pret, Brahma Rakshas, and he got liberated at the same time just because Bhakti Vinod Thakur chanted the holy name. Now, you know who becomes Brahma Rakshas? Anyone knows about it? Padma Puran explains that who becomes Brahma Rakshas? A very severe offender of the holy name, a Brahman or someone like that, who does big aparadh become Brahma Rakshas. This is what Padma Puran says. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur could understand this person is actually a chanter of the holy name, and he has done some big aparadh. That's how he achieved Brahma Rakshas Yoni. Anyway, story finished there. Next morning, Bhaktivinoda Thakur starts his walking, and he reaches to the next village. So villagers were very happy to receive Bhaktivinoda Thakur because they knew he's a devotee, pure devotee of the Lord, and he has come to my village. It's our great fortune. Anyway, in casual, they asked question, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Maharaj, where are you coming from? He said, we come from the another village. He said, that village is very far. You have just arrived in our village. So how did you travel overnight? He said, yeah, your village was very, very far. So we traveled overnight. So we had to take some shelter. So we stayed in that temple. So they mentioned the temple's place. So the villagers were very surprised. You stayed in that temple that is ghosted by a Brahma Rakshas. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, yeah, I know that. Very easily. How could you spend your night with that Brahma Rakshas there? No one in our village or in any close by villages goes to that temple because that Brahma Rakshas is so fierce. He can even kill you, you will even get a heart attack. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, yeah, I didn't know about it, but I just stayed back. Yeah, Brahma Rakshas came and I chanted Hare Krishna mantra and he got liberated. And the villagers were really, that Brahma Rakshas was living there for like, I don't know, thousands of years. And their ancestors have told, villagers' ancestors have told them this was actually a pujari of the same temple who kept chanting Krishna, Krishna, Ram, Ram every time. But while he was chanting, he was blaspheming others. He was pinpointing others. He was always angry. He has done so many offenses. You say Krishna, but he has done more offenses than Krishna. So he, after leaving his body, became a Brahma Rakshas. And he was living in the same temple because he has served the deities there. So he said for thousands of years, this Brahma Rakshas was there, and he has actually practically murdered many, many people because of his fierce thing. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur, because of his chanting, he has lived in that sort of body for thousands of years. And then because he had chanted, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, a pure devotee, walked in that residence where this Brahma Rakshas was living. Just imagine that. So the point is, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one name of Ram or Srimati Radharani Hare, will always, always, always give you benefit. But do you really want to become a Brahma Rakshas? That's the point. And then, some pure devotee coming and walking towards you and then giving some jal or Prabhupada like that. So we don't want that. We want to chant in as much good mood as possible. Please, Krishna, go finish our job, go back to Godhead as soon as possible. Otherwise, it may be, I don't know, trillions of years before we get back to Krishna. Manmohan Prabhu, if that helps. So this story I really like
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank
because
you.
it matches many points with me. So it inspires me to keep chanting, but again, not make offense, knowing offense. Unknowingly, I know many one of us doing, but again, pray to the holy name, ask for forgiveness. Really pray to your Guru Maharaj, everyone, I mean, pray to Prabhupada, pray to the holy name that we should not commit offense. Okay, Sanjay Vyas Prabhu, if you wanted to add something on that.
Prabhuji, just a question. Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu, if a person is trying to chant nicely as much as possible and trying their best not to commit the nam aparadhs, trying their best not to commit offenses or to devotees and to their Guru Maharaj, and still they're not able to experience increased attraction for Krishna or spiritual topics, or still that that love for Krishna is not arising in the heart, then what's going wrong? Or is it that if a person is trying to do all of that nicely, then it's a foolproof thing that love for Krishna should arise? So they should
Must
focus
arise.
on those offenses then.
So simple answer is what Prabhupada said in this situation, Ussahat Nishayat Dhairyat. Dharyat. Prabhupada gave an example of a young lady who getting married. She wants a son, offspring. Then she has to serve the husband and wait. That's what Prabhupada said. So you serve Krishna and wait. It must happen, not it should happen. It must happen. So there is no way you will not get love of Godhead. But it's up to Krishna. You are serving Krishna and wait. Krishna, whenever I'm not in a demanding attitude, I'm here in a submissive attitude. I'm here to serve you. Now, if you want me to serve for unlimited lifetimes like that, I'm happy. Shabri did not complain to Matang Rishi or Sri Ram. Ram, why you arrived in 2019? I've been serving you from 1719, huh? 280 years, huh? इतना कोई वेट कराता है क्या? शबरी माता could have chastised Lord Ram. इतनी देर बाद आए आप. No, Sabri Mata was so happy, no complaints. Every day she will do the same service, and others were very discouraging around her. Huh? We talk about discouragement. Imagine Shabri's position. Shabri was getting not even one person in that group was encouraging Shabri. Everyone was literally criticizing, blaspheming Shabri. She was considered inauspicious just to be seen because she was from a lower caste, and these rishis from Brahman caste. Lord Ram did not go to even one person's place. They've been chanting Hare Krishna for a long time. Lord Ram went to Shabri's house. So, Usahat Nishayat Dharyat. You do your bit, Krishna will do his bit. Sure. He remembers you more than you remember him. Is that
Thank you,
okay?
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Ujjwala Mataji, if you wanted to add.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, with
Hare
regard to
Krishna.
attentive chanting, something came to my mind. I remembered once His Grace Viraj Prabhu had shared this regarding chanting, and he had said that before we start chanting, sometimes like we do the prayer and then we start chanting and all that. But he said like when we are doing exercise, we do the warm up. So we don't, without warm up, we don't do exercise. So in that way, when we are chanting, we are wanting to chant attentively. We should do the warm up in the sense we should humbly and very prayerful mood. We should pray to our Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, to the Lord, and express the desire that you would like to chant attentively for their pleasure. If we do that, then Krishna gives the energy, and the mood is set, and we are able to chant better. And I have tried that, and it helps to some degree. Still, my mind wanders, but it does help.
Yeah, very nice suggestion. I think we should all try that because that's the only way we can only beg Krishna, please. We're not eligible. So the more the begging attitude we have towards the Lord, towards our Guru Maharaj, towards devotees, the better we are in safe hands. Humble attitude, so humility which pleases Krishna. It says Rupa and Sanatan, when they met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they had a tinka, a piece of grass, you can say in English, in their teeth, amongst the teeth, because they presented themselves as an animal actually. And then they bowed down to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They were so humble. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I'll surely initiate you, but first you have to stop being so humble. It says, your humility is fate mora man. My mind is getting torn up just by seeing your humility. I can't take, you're just so humble. So many times, if not all the times, we don't have that humility in us because we think we are something. I am something. And because if you are something, Krishna said, okay, you remain something. When you become nothing, then you become something. But if you think you are something, then you are nothing. Keshav Maharaj said, if you are not perfect, you should be humble. So if anyone perfect here, if you're not perfect, you should be humble. But as soon as you become humble, you become perfect. It's your humility which makes you perfect. It's not our knowledge or our, I can chant perfectly. No, that's not our perfection. Our humility is our perfection. So as soon as you become humble, then you become perfect. Perfect in approaching Krishna, approaching the mercy of the Lord. And Krishna will give. Krishna will give. Oh, this devotee is humble. But if you think you are something, then you are nothing. So that is sort of key. Thank you, Mataji, for sharing that. And yeah, we should all try that. Can have many other things as well. We can just move. So inattentive chanting, just reading some more things. This section in chanting produces a type of illusion causing serious offenses against holy name that are difficult to overcome. This illusion leads to craving for wealth, women, position, success, and cheating. When the material attractions cover the heart, one loses interest in chanting the holy name. This from Harinam Chintamani, very nice. And Harinam Chintamani says there are 3 types of inattention under the category of pramad, which means complete madness. What are the 3 types? Apathy, laziness, and distraction. So Audasinya means we are udasin. Udasin means neutral, apathy, indifference. While chanting, neophyte feels attraction to many material objects. So he has udasin, the neutrality, you can say. Jadaya, laziness. We can see this Prabhuji here chanting with laziness. We do it many times as well. Guru Maharaj used to say, if you are tired, don't sit on the sofa. If you are tired, don't sit on the sofa. Better you walk. Huh? Better you walk. Sometimes late night chantings, huh? You know what I'm saying? You sit on the sofa and one round goes for 33 minutes. You are everywhere. Viksheep, distraction, allowing the senses and mind to wander to sense objects. Huh? Okay, some tips here. We can discuss more things about this, but let's move forward. So symptoms of an offenseless chanter. So this is the verse. Radhanath Maharaj also keeps speaking this verse many, many times in his classes. It's very nice. We all know this verse, but this should be the target. And if you want to chant offenselessly, these 4 attitudes should come in us. I know it's a big thing, but this is what our goal is. Trinadapi sunichena taro Taroreva Saishana, Amanina Mandena, Kirtaniya Sadahari. So if you want to achieve Kirtaniya Sadahari, these 4 qualities should be there: humility, tolerance, pridelessness, and respect for others. So many times, 3rd and 4th, we switch it on. we expect respect from others and we don't give proper respect to others. It should be actually other way. We should give respect to everyone. Amanina for us. We are nothing. So if no one gives us any respect, that's fine. This is our default position. Example is given of a tinka, a trana. A tran on the street does not expect anything from anyone. We can even step on the tran. Tran does not protest. It doesn't go in the court and sues us. Look at this person. Huh? He is mistreating us. But when we treat with devotees, when we deal with devotees, we say this devotee did not respect me properly, and we can have big arguments about that. But the example Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given, we should feel like a trana. Actually says lower than the grass, not even the trana, lower than that. Now again, this is our goal target, so it cannot be achieved in a day or two, even in a year, maybe with someone, but it's difficult to state. But again, if we meditate on this goal, as Radhanath Maharaj always says, meditate on these goals. You may not be able to achieve it on day 1, day 2, day 3, but meditate on it, constantly meditate on it. Then one day it will happen. So humility, tolerance, pridelessness, respect for others. If we are able to do that, one day we will be able to do Kirtaniya Sadahari. Okay, what is the consequence of Namaprad? We read this every day. It is in CC Adi 8.16. Bahu Janma Karyade Shravan Kirtana Tabu Tana Paya Krishna Pade Pretana. I know we all know that, but I still like to read it because it's very nice. If one is infested, the word here you use is infested. Huh? So we have cockroach infested in the house. So this is offense infested in our heart. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many births, he will not get the love of Godhead, which is the ultimate goal of this chanting. So yeah, we read it every morning. We read it more often. If we do aparad and then chant, then whatever chanting we have done, actually we are not going much further in our journey. A person, this is from BRS, a person who commits all offenses is freed from all those offenses by taking complete shelter of Hari. But the 2-legged animal who commits offenses against the Hari is freed from those offenses by taking shelter of Hari's name. However, though the name is the friend of all, by committing an offense against the name, a person falls to the lower regions. This is from Padma Puran, which Rupa Goswami is mentioning, 12119 to 120. Okay, just a quick note from our teachers, Seva Parad. Rupa Goswami makes an important point about Seva Parad by quoting the Padma Puran. One should not allow himself to become neglectful in deity worship, thinking that the holy name will deliver him from his offense. So, okay, I can do deity worship any way I want, and I'll just chant Hare Krishna. Again, that will become an offense. So don't do that. Try to learn deity worship nicely. There are many, many senior Brahmanas who can teach us. Chanting the holy name will deliver one from all offenses, but if one willfully employs the name in this way, he offends the name and thus neutralizes its effect. An offender to the holy name has no chance of deliverance. The word used here is no chance. Very severe offense. Nam aparad, this is the statement from Madhurya Kadamini, third nectar. The anarthas arising from offenses arise specifically from the namaparad. The seva parad are in themselves not a direct cause of anarthas. For seva parad do not usually have effect on the real devotee, because by constant service, by chanting the holy name, and by the recitation of specific verses that have the power to cancel the effect of any seva parad, these anarthas cannot grow. So seva parad, generally are not so severe because of these three things, which is written here in Madhurya Kadambari. However, if one is careless, thinking he can take advantage of the protection afforded by the above measures, his seva aparad becomes the nam aparad, an anartha that will obstruct his progress. He is guilty of nam aparad, of committing sin on the strength of the holy name. So again, be very careful using this as a secret weapon. You'll become an offender. Okay, now Rupa Goswami mentions about the worship of Ganpati. So Prabhupada has also written. I'll quickly discuss this very quickly, because many people coming from Indian background have a lot of affection for Ganpati, which is fine, but just look at it in a proper perspective. Affection is not wrong as far as we have the proper perspective. So this Prabhupada, one should begin the worship of the demigod Ganpati, who drives away all impediments in the execution of devotional service. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that Ganpati worships the lotus feet of Lord Narsingadev. So Ganpati is a devotee of Narsingadev. And Prabhupada told once, Ganpati, who is Vigna Harta, he takes away all the obstacles, but he gets the power of becoming Vigna Harta from Lord Narsingadev or Krishna. So he is also a devotee. There's no doubt in that. It says Ganpati, I've heard in one lecture at least. There is one form of Ganpati, he stays in Vaikuntha as well. So Ganpati is an eternal devotee of Lord. So we should not think just him as a demigod. He is actually a very big devotee of Lord. He stays in Vaikuntha with Lord as well. Okay, so he's a devotee of Lord Narsingadev. And this is letter of Srila Prabhupada to Bhaktadas, December 28, 1974. Concerning Ganesh worship, it is not actually necessary for us. But if someone has sentiment for getting the blessings of Ganesh to get large amounts of money for Krishna's service, then it's all right. Now you will say, oh, okay, Prabhupada is saying. But look at Prabhupada, what he's saying next. But anyone who takes up this kind of worship must send me at least $100,000 monthly, no less. So if you want to worship to get money to serve Krishna, definitely service of Krishna is the goal. But Prabhupada is saying, if you worship Ganpati, you must send me 100 US dollars, by the way, monthly. Now you have to rethink about worshipping Ganesh. This is Prabhupada's statement. Give him the reference as well. So if he cannot send this amount, he cannot do Ganesh worship. Very, very simple. So first Prabhupada is saying it's not necessary, but if you have sentiment for that, yes, you can, on one condition. So send Prabhupada or your local center $100,000 every month. Then you can do Ganpati worship. I'm sure we all will be discouraged from this letter of Prabhupada. One more conversation. This is with Guru Kripa Swami. Just read some lines. So Prabhupada, so Ganpati, I'm just reading the red part here. So Ganpati is also a devotee, Ganpati. So Ganpati is not required, but sometimes we do. Just like gopis, they worship goddess Durga, Katyayani. Why Ganpati? Everyone. But our prayer should be, please give us Krishna. So as we know from Bhagavatam, gopis went to Katyayani Ma and said, let Krishna be our husband. So their goal of worshipping Katyayani or Durga Ji was to get Krishna. So Prabhupada is saying, why Ganpati? Everyone you can worship in that sense, but our goal is, please give us Krishna. And we see in fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Kuvera, when he asked Dhruv Maharaj, ask any boon. Now you can say, Dhruv has seen Krishna, pure devotee. Here Kuvera is a demigod. But Dhruv asked Kuvera to give Krishna bhakti. And Kuvera actually blesses Dhruva because Kuvera is also a devotee of Lord. He can bless. So we should not just look at these demigods as only demigods. No, they are actually devotees of Lord as well. And they can remove, even as a demigod, they can remove obstacles from our path because demigods are very powerful. They can remove obstacles from our path of Krishna Bhakti. So I'll not read the full letter. Very interesting letter. You can find it and read it. Very nice, which has been mentioned about the worship of Ganpati. So basically, Prabhupada is saying it's not necessary for us. Okay. Any questions on chapter 8? We have only done one offense in chapter 8, which was very, very big, but it's good to know these things. Yes, Sakiradhika Mataji.
So we just quickly, if this question is there that एक तरफ हम बोल रहे हैं नधनम नजनम न सुंदरम बोल रहे हैं सुबह, and then the other side we are saying if we want money we can ask from. I don't get it. Like,
Yeah, so Prabhupada said for
why-
Krishna's service. For Krishna's service. So sometimes you have to build a temple, you need $20 million. So you can pray to Krishna. So this money is not for our seva. So,
Krishna. So
huh?
we can directly pray to Krishna and he will
This is
send.
for
Or
Krishna's only. So when we say Nadhanam, Najanam, Nasanam, this is for us. So personally, we don't want any wealth. We don't want any good spouse or our fame, people singing our glories. But for Krishna's seva, you need money. You need to build a temple. So you can pray to Krishna, Krishna, I need to build your temple. You please inspire people to give us money. Keshav Maharaj gives a nice story on that. Very nice. He said some church has to be rebuilt and they needed, $10 million or something like that. So the priest came out in a public congregation, in a Sunday feast class, you can say, Sunday service. He came out and said, we need to build this church, and there's a good news and a bad news. Good news is we already got the money. And the bad news is it's in your pocket. Give us the money. So basically, Krishna will send people to give that money so we can pray to Krishna, but
so
not
we
for
can
our
pray
person.
to Krishna, but we can also pray to Lord Ganesha. Is it that?
No, 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 no. So if you are praying Ganesh, that's what Prabhupada is saying. If you're praying Ganesh for Krishna's seva, then the condition is you have to give Prabhupada 100,000 US dollars every month. So you get the point. Not
Yeah, yeah.
necessary. Not necessary. Prabhupada writing the first line concerning Ganesha, it is not actually necessary for us. But people have sentiments. But we should understand Ganesh is a devotee. That's why I put these two in a big fonts. So Ganesh is a devotee of Lord Nrsimhadev. So we are not, many times Indians, not everyone, get scared. I was a worshipper of Ganesh. What will happen if Ganesh will get angry with me? Ganesh, how can he become angry? He's a devotee himself. Hanumanji, how can Hanumanji become angry if you worship Ram? Hanumanji will be very pleased. Actually, it says a devotee of Hanuman will become, if a sincere devotee of Hanuman, will become devotee of Lord Ram because Hanumanji will never like to call himself as a Bhagwan or something. Which devotee will like to call himself as Bhagwan? They get actually, what are you talking? A real devotee. When Prabhupada was called by some of his own disciples, Prabhupada, you are God for us. Prabhupada says, get out. Get out. They were banned from ISKCON on Prabhupada time. They said, if you want to, Prabhupada said, if you ever want to come back, build 4 temples before you come back. And they built 4 temples and they came back to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, I'm sorry. So Prabhupada even used their offense as a service to the Lord. Prabhupada was so intelligent, so intelligent. And there are some names, I don't want to give the names. But the point is, people call Prabhupada as God. And if you call other Swamis as God, they become very happy. Yes, yes, I'm Bhagwan, I'm Bhagwan. Prabhupada said, get out from here, get out. I'm the servant of the. Prabhupada was giving a lecture in Germany. Very nice. Chaturvardhya system. There are 4 classes, and one German man got up in the class and he said, what do you think you are, Swami? Prabhupada said, I'm 5th class. I'm neither Brahman, I'm not Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, I'm 5th class man. This was the humility of Prabhupada. So there is no need to worship any other demigod. No need to worship. No one will get angry, rather they will become very pleased with your seva. And my Guru Maharaj said one point, I'll just mention that and then I'll stop. He said, the problem is not with the demigod, problem is with us, because what will happen, our Shraddha will get split into multiple portions. Our Shraddha should be only in Krishna 100%. Vyavasatmika buddhir eke hai Kurunandan. Krishna is saying, just become one pointed attention. And Krishna is clearly root of all the demigods. So he will be very pleased. All the demigods will be very pleased. So there is no need for any vrat tapasya for any other demigod to please him. If you come across a temple, very respectfully, you go and pray, Krishna, please give me, this particular demigod, please give me Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally visited a temple, Shiva temple, and he composed Shivastakam. And if you read that Shivastakam, it's a glorification of Krishna, and he's saying, Shivji, you are such a great devotee, please give me some devotion. So that was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's attitude. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also had, if you visit Mayapur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house, there's a little Shiva temple outside the temple of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which he used to worship the deity. And he's sitting as Kshetrapal. Shivji is sitting there as a Kshetrapal, protecting. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur used to go to that deity, asking, please, please, please give me that bhakti which you have. So that's the idea. Okay.
So that having said that, not worshipping demigods, once Bhakti Samrit Maharaj said that in a class in Bhagavatam in 5th canto, he mentioned that anything a wife should follow, which is being followed in the vratas of the family, should be done. Even if you are in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, you should follow those vratas. That's not that you have to do it for the demigods, but you should do that because you're got married to in like the Kul Devi and Devtas can get offended because they are not pure devotees, or they may be, but you should follow. Like there was this class he took for what is supposed to be done for Prabhus and what is supposed to be done for Matajis. So of course Matajis had more to do, but he said that you have to follow all the vratas and everything, like you explained that we should do sharad and everything. He was saying that you should follow. So for the demigod worship, if it is done in your family, you should follow.
Yeah. The point here is not to disturb someone else's faith or shraddha. Because if you disturb his faith, for example, in this case, husband's faith in that particular demigod, then what will happen? He will never become a pure devotee. So the point, whenever we mention like that, the point eventually here is not to break anyone's faith, but the objective is very clear. And these are multiple ways where we reach to that objective, which is valid. Because if we break someone's faith, saying Ganesh ji, then he will never become a devotee and say, okay, you don't consider my God, I will not consider your God. So yeah, we just have to take these statements carefully from that light. Thank you. Ujjwala Samata ji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Many times the newcomers, many times they have Lord Shiva, Lord Ganesha in the altar, and they are worshipping. I think it goes back to the same question which was asked. So we need to, our approach should be to,
never say no to their Shiva worship. Never say no to their Shiva worship. Let them continue Shiva worship. All we say, also come to Sunday feast program. Come when Keshav Maharaj comes. Come and visit the temple. You continue your Shiva worship, Durga worship. Honestly, you should, from your heart, say, please, Prabhu, continue. Because Shivji or Durga ji will definitely bring you to Krishna. You should never say no to their faith, ever. Even if they're worshipping Sai Baba, this and that, it doesn't matter. You should always add Krishna in their life, not remove anything. If they're worshiping ghost, let them worship ghost. It doesn't matter. And this is where the maturity of a preacher comes. And many times, because of immaturity of the preachers in many countries, we are banned. Singapore, one example, because devotees criticized some demigod worship. There's a Shiva temple in Singapore. I'm sure you have been there. There's one in Dubai as well. And devotees criticized Shivji's worshippers. This is so insensitive, so immature. Let them worship Lord Shiva. What's the problem? They're worshipping someone. Shivji is a pure devotee. Maybe they're worshipping for material gains. It doesn't matter. So please, please, please do not say no to anyone for anything. And you have to be very patient. Just say, Prabhuji, there is a Janmashtami festival. Please come. If you want to cut vegetables with us, please cut vegetables with us. You continue your Shiva, he will get more convinced with your preaching rather than you saying, oh no to Shiva, only to Krishna. He'll say, Hare Krishna, Om Namah Shivaya. I will go to this Shiva temple here and there. He will never come to you. So the aspect is, there are three aspects of preaching. First is connect, second is convey, third is convince. First, you have to connect with them, then you convey the message, then you convince them. If you're trying to do number three without doing the one and two, you will never be able to convince them. So first is connect, convey, and convince. Follow these three in order, you will be very successful preacher. They may take 20 years, it doesn't matter. Every soul is on a journey. You can't change. Krishna can change. When Krishna will inspire and sitting in their heart to change, they will change. If not, no problem. You keep doing, let them read Bhagavad Gita, come and take prasad. You deliver the prasad in their house and say, Prabhuji, you're doing so nice worship. And he will look at you and he will say, Prabhu, you're also doing nice worship. Then the connection will be done. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Acharya, thank you. Acharya Nishta, Prabhu.
Quick question, Prabhuji, on Hari Om that you mentioned about. Is that it's very common that my daughter goes to Sanskrit school and they follow another sampradaya, and they always start with Hari Om. It always confuses me. What do I say? I always start with Hari Om, but then again say, oh, Krishna, I'm cheating you. I am not saying Hare
No,
Krishna.
Hari is Krishna's name. Om is also
Yes,
Krishna's name.
yes, that's
There's no
true.
problem. Yeah, Pranamaha Sarva
But
Vedeshu, 7th chapter, Krishna says, I'm Pranam. So
yes,
the only thing is we have to change perspective. Name itself is not a
Om is
problem.
also Krishna. Yeah.
Om is also Krishna. So if someone is
Yes.
saying Hari Om, if you have to, say Hari Om. Prabhupada used to say Hare Krishna. Sometime in a morning walk, Prabhupada in India,
Radhe Radhe.
I said this. People are saying to Prabhupada, Hare Krishna. Prabhupada said, good morning. And disciples of Prabhupada is like, why Prabhupada is saying not Hare Krishna? Why did Prabhupada say good morning? Because Prabhupada wanted to connect with them first. And after 5 days,
Yes.
they will also say Hare Krishna. They will have respect for Prabhupada because the worst part is the person should not see you as, coming in their life and intimidating their life, trying to change. No one wants to change, being very honest. And I also don't want to change. I have a particular way of saying things, thinking things. I don't like change. No one likes change. So if you try to change them, they will never get change. If you try to connect with them and trying to help them, then people will open their heart. Hari Om is fine. If you see in 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it's a verse, Hari Om Tat Sat. It's the whole explanation of that. Yeah? You can look into towards the end of 17th chapter, Hari Om Tat Sat. And Prabhupada personally wrote after writing, say, Bhagavad Gita or Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat. Basically, we're chanting Om Krishna. Now, there are explanations why we don't chant Om, but Om is a valid name of Krishna. It's an impersonal address to Krishna rather than personal address. And Krishna is more pleased with the person. Suppose in your office, someone calls you a project officer. But in your home, your mother will call you, hey, bacha, idhar aao. You will love that word from your mother or father more than project officer or something. This is your personal address. Your mother tells you with a bacha or whatever, some slang name. You like that more than your designations. Same here. But it's a valid designation. Is it okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you.
9.17 also say the same. I am Om, where Krishna says that. Yeah.
See here, yeah. Or 7th chapter also say Pranamasa Vedeshu Shabda Ke Parusham Vishu. 7.89, something like that. You can look.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Priya Mataji or Mohit Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, this is not directly linked. I mean, it's a little off topic, a little bit, sorry, but with the picture of Lord Ganesha, can you just explain or what? I mean, I'm just curious to know what the paraphernalia he has there.
Oh, okay. Mataji, I won't be able to be honest. I have not studied that, so I don't want to pass any wrong information. But yeah, he's a very nice personality, and everything he does is for the pleasure. I've heard in lectures that he is a wonderful devotee, and he does everything to please Krishna. But I can't tell the details, Mata. I don't know myself. At least that stage, I can't remember. Okay.
Okay, Prabhu.
One thing I can say here, which I again heard in a class about his mouse, Chuha. So Ganesh ji Chuha, sometimes we take Ganesh ji riding on a mouse or Chuha. It's told actually by our acharyas, Vaishnava acharyas I'm talking. This Chuha is not a Chuha, he's also a devotee. And he is in the shape of a mouse. He's not just a mouse. He's in a shape of mouse. He's assisting Ganeshi in his service to Lord, Supreme Lord actually. So when we see these chuha or more or something like that, sometimes we laugh at it. Actually, they are very great devotees themselves. So Maharaj was telling this chuha is in the shape of a chuha, definitely, but it's not just a material world chuha. Huh? You throw some object and he will die. He is a very powerful personality. He's a carrier of Ganeshi. How can he? Like we see Garud. Garud is a great devotee. Garud is the eternal associate of Lord. We can't say he's a hawk, he's an eagle. No, he's a great devotee. Similarly, these Chuha and these Vahan, these carriers of these different demigods, they are actually great personalities. So we should never offend them in any way. I just remembered that much. Okay. Okay, let's move forward to our next chapter, which is further consideration of devotional principles. So far we have done ninth offense. Now we'll do the 10th one. This is Nivritti I'm talking. So this is the last one in Nivritti, which is the 20th aspect from 1 onwards. So Guru Krishna Bhakta Ninda Sahana Tyag. You should not tolerate blasphemy of Sri Guru, Sri Krishna, or the devotees. So it should not be the case. I'm not doing blasphemy, someone else is doing. I was just hearing Prabhuji. No, that's also an offense. If you hear the blasphemy, someone is criticizing Prabhupada or Krishna or something, it says you should not tolerate. Now, what you should do, it says 3 things you can do. Defeat the blasphemer. Defeat means if he's offending, you should clarify, you should defeat that argument, and he should convince him that that statement wasn't correct. You can't defeat him. The second thing Shastra says, you should give up your life. Very difficult one. Never try to do that because there's a third option, which is to leave the place. So you either defeat, you give up the life, or you leave the place. For defeating examples, you can say, partial at least, Canto 4 in Srimad Bhagavatam, when Daksha started criticizing Lord Shiva and his followers. So his followers did not take that offense very nicely. There's a cursing and counter cursing happened. Giving up life, anyone can think of an example? Sati. Sati, when she heard the blasphemy of Lord Shiva, her husband was not properly respected from her own father. She gave up her life. So Sati said, "This body is not useful for my husband anymore, for Lord Shiva anymore." So she gave up the life. She said, "I will not like to serve my husband with this body, which is contaminated." So you should give up the life. Now, devotees don't do that, but there's an example in Shastra. And the third one is leave the place. So you can't defeat, you can't give up your life, and the best option is leave the place. So we should not even overhear the blasphemy done by other people. I will not call it devotees, by other people. So if you do that, you yourself become the part of the offense. And Rupa Goswami is saying should not do that. Shukdev Goswami telling this is in 10th canto, 74th chapter, this Prabhupada giving this reference. My dear king, if a person after hearing blasphemous propaganda against the Lord and his devotees does not go away from that place, he becomes bereft of the effect of all pious activities. This Shukdev Goswami speaking in Srimad Bhagavatam. So we should be very careful, definitely not to blaspheme, but not even hearing the blasphemy. Now, one thing I want to say, 2 things I want to say. We should not consider every criticism as blasphemy or every question, negative feedback. Someone is giving a negative feedback and there may be some truth in that, right? So here defeat means you clarify. If you know about that particular person or that particular instance, you clarify. Because someone is asking a question submissively, "Oh, Prabhu, you're an offender." No. You cannot label everyone as an offender, and you should not take every question as not as blasphemy, right? Both ways. So if someone is being very stern and strong against Prabhupada or some Maharaj, then you should know, oh, Prabhu, it was just an inquiry. No, 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 that's not an inquiry. That's a blasphemy. Huh? So you should be able to distinguish between a blasphemy and an inquiry. An inquiry can be inquiry. Prabhu, I heard about it, so I don't understand it. Can you please clarify? Huh? If this is a genuine question, you may be able to clarify. And if you don't know, Prabhu, I don't know about it. One time a devotee asked me certain question about certain Maharaj. I literally said, Prabhu, I don't know. But only thing I know, there's a lot more positives to look at rather than looking at one negative, which may be completely out of context. And I said, Prabhu, I really don't know the answer. Huh? So many times don't hesitate to say, no, I don't know, Prabhu. This is written on internet. 5 websites are telling it. Prabhu, I don't know, and I'm not interested to know. Because internet is full of blasphemy. Anyone can write anything. I can open a website for free. I can write article against 5 devotees, and I can circulate it around very, very easily. This Maharaj in India, very famous Maharaj, Haldar Maharaj, you may have heard some lectures from him. He was saying, if you have a phone, you will end up blaspheming devotees. He said that in a class. It's a 20-minute class. Many times, again, 99% we can say, not all the time. We start from listening lectures and it can end up in blasphemy, Maharaj was saying. So again, be very, very careful. News reach in the whole world in 1 second these days. And he said, in our days, we didn't have phone, we didn't have internet, and we didn't know which Maharaj or which thing is happening wrong in this city and that city, right? And he said we were saved from offenses. Nowadays, in 1 second, even if the thing is not correct, reaches to the other end of the world, and everyone is talking about it. Oh, this Maharaj did like that. This devotee fell down. This happened. That happened. And there may not be even 0.1% truth in that. So our safest position is don't participate in those conversations. You just don't know. Even if there is some truth, let my senior tell it to me. If it impacts my seva, my senior will tell it to me. I don't have to participate in every single thing. Keshav Maharaj gave an example, just an example, a humorous example makes sense. He says many times participate in the discussions like, should women be the guru or not in ISKCON? Are we GBC or what? Who is going to listen our comments and references and our conclusions on this topic? Why we have to participate in these discussions? Huh? Are we appointed person so that our judgment will be implemented tomorrow? No. So do not participate in these sort of discussions. We just don't know. There are enough authorities in ISKCON who can deal with this sort of matter in an appropriate way. When it will come to us, it will impact our seva. We'll go to our Guru Maharaj or senior Vaishnava to take guidance. Maharaj, I don't understand what to do in this situation. Can you please tell? And he will expand on it. Till that time, many times we may end up in, criticizing some people which we are not aware of. Recently, one issue happened with one Maharaj. I'll be very honest, I did not know anything about it because I'm not on Facebook or any. One devotee rang me and told me about it. And I'm like, Prabhu, I don't need to know about this. It was happening for 1 year. Very famous Maharaj. I have a lot of respect for that Maharaj. And this devotee telling me, I'm like, Prabhu, yes, it has happened. Prabhu, do you know about it? I don't know. He's asking my opinion. I said, I don't have any opinion. All I have respect for this Maharaj. Malab, what is the point of this phone call? I don't know. I don't know. Am I GBC? Am I appointed for, I have to give my conclusion on that. So please step out of any these sort of discussions. You may end up offending that Vaishnava. There are authorities who are taking care of it, and they'll take care of it. We don't have to take any sides. What we can do, again, in a safer side, look at the nice qualities of that person, what sevas he has done for over 30, 40 years. We cannot do even one day that much seva what this person has done. So why we look back at 30 years ago, what happened, 10 years ago, what happened, and we don't know what's the truth, what's the lie. Some devotees have very strong positions. Let them take. That's their life. Safer side is step out of these conversations. There is no end to that. No end to that. Read Srimad Bhagavatam in that time. And if your seva is getting impacted, that may happen. Then seek clarification from your seniors and find out the truth. And then take guidance. Don't participate on this open platform 99.99% you may never know the right picture, and that applies not only to Maharaj or Senior Vaishnava, that can apply to your neighbor as well, to your devotee next in Bhakti Vriksha. Someone can call you and tell you something. Do not participate. It does not take us anywhere. We are not the authorities. That's the safer position. And again, if your seva is getting impacted, go to your senior, discuss in a very compassionate way, then take guidance and then implement if that's needed. Okay, let's move forward. Yeah, it's a famous example, but very nice. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so compassionate, but he also became very stern, very strong against Jagai and Madhai. So we may have to take certain actions. Lord Ram took action, Arjun took action. Prabhupada also took actions against certain people, certain institutions. Yes, we may have to do that. That's also a valid approach. Some people are offenders and they need to be told in that way. But again, take a sattvic decision. We always say that take a sattvic decision. Don't take decision in mode of passion or ignorance. So even if you take a strong decision against a person or institute or against a group of people, that's fine. Take a decision in mode of goodness. When your mind is shant, you have consulted the Shastra, you have consulted devotees, then you go forward and take that decision. Nityananda Prabhu is very kind. Okay. Any questions on that? I know it's a big topic. They're all big topics here, but they're very important for all of us. And again, my humble request to all of you is be safe, then sorry. Be safe. Now, Prabhu,
Hare
you
Krishna.
wanted
Yes,
something? Yes.
just the previous thing that you mentioned about making decisions in mode of goodness.
Yes.
Can you just elaborate on that more? Like,
Okay, so passion or ignorance, I'll just say a little bit, Prabhuji. Again, it's a big topic. Passion means, Gaur Gopal Prabhu says, stop reacting, start responding. Reaction means when he says, a cola bottle, when you shake a cola bottle or a water, sprinkling water, when you shake it and open the lid, what water just comes out. So, eat ka jawab patthar say, if someone has said something to me, immediately our reaction is, how dare this person saying something, right? Like that. So, that's called mode of passion response. Ignorance is, if I hear some blasphemy about myself, suppose, right or wrong, forget it, blasphemy, I will never see this person's face for, next 30 years or something. Or I'll try to hurt that person because how dare this person says this thing about. So I try to make arrangements for this person to eliminate from certain situations. This is ignorance, actually. Goodness means if someone is hurting your temple, for example, your house, your family members, you have to take certain decisions, right? You have to go forward. But that decision is not just to respond to that person in that way. Arjun also took decision to fight in mode of goodness, actually in pure goodness. He went to Krishna. He said, Krishna, I don't know what to do. But he had to fight. He eventually finished Duryodhan. Bhima killed 100 sons of Dhritarashtra. But it wasn't a rushful decision. Immediately you go back to your neighbor and say, Eat ka jawab patthar se, I will destroy your house. My Guru Maharaj said one thing very nicely. He said, you scratch my car, I scratch your face. You know what I'm saying, huh? So someone hurting you, you may have to take some decisions. So Chaitanya Charan Prabhu recommends three remedies for that. I'll just repeat Chaitanya Charan Prabhu words. He said the first is tolerate. Second is mitigate. Third is migrate. So tolerate, if you can, tolerate your neighbor, tolerate your neighbor. Mitigate, correct him. If he needs a correction, Prabhupada fought many court cases. My Guru Maharaj himself was telling about the court cases one day. One day he was talking about guns. My Guru Maharaj was talking about guns. And he knew this is shotgun, this is machine gun, this gun, that gun. He was like talking all about the guns. And he was also telling how to shoot people. This is called drive-by shooting, this called that shooting. And devotee asked, Maharaj, how do you know all that? He said, I studied about it. Why did you study all that? Because I knew I was going to get shot. So my Guru Maharaj, when he got shot, many people know about it, he knew he will be murdered. He knew about it. But he was just getting along and he was thinking maybe, may not happen. But so he said, I studied about all this because I knew that's going to happen to me. And it happened. It happened. So to safeguard yourself or your family, you may have to, do all this. But the way it was done to him, that was not expected. He was expecting it outside, but it happened inside. It happened in bathroom actually. So no one is ready there. Anyway, coming down to all this, so sometimes you have to fight your enemy, but yeah, do it in a sattvic way. Think what Shastra is saying. Is it my ego hurting me, or am I being passionate here? Am I just hurting this person, or is against Siddhanta? Ram also gave many opportunities to Raman. So yeah, that's called sattvic decisions, which is coming from Shastra, not just passion. Yeah, just bang the face, hurt this person may not be the best way. But yeah, fighting itself is not condemned. Prabhupada said, one example I'll give. Prabhupada gave this example. Prabhupada was walking with a group of disciples, males and girls. He met another group, a Buddhist group, and they were having some conversation. The leader there, Prabhupada was speaking to me. He said, "You are saying ahimsa, ahimsa, non-violence, non. What if someone attacks these ladies? What will you do?" And the leader said, "Ahimsa." Prabhupada said, "To hell with this ahimsa. If someone attacks my daughters or my sons, I will fight with them. I will fight with them." And the daughters were very happy. And he said, "Your daughters will not be very happy because their leader is not protective. Husband should be protective." Third canto, Kapil Muni says that husband should be protective, husband should be a guide, husband should lead. And the other qualities are given of women as well. Three qualities of women is also given. So yeah, violence itself is not condemned, but a sattvic way violence. Okay. I hope that helps. I know implementations are quite complex. Sakhi Radhika Mataji, if you want to help me here.
Was telling a story about Radhanath Maharaj like taking sattvic decision. So once there was a devotee who came to Chowpatty temple and he started staying there. He was from he knew Prabhupada and he was from Gaudiya Vaishnav Sampradaya and he was a very nice devotee and he was following everything nicely. Everything was going on very smooth. Maharaj said he's come, we should make all arrangement very nicely and everything was done best Atiti Satkar was given to him. Several days passed, and one day he said that, Prabhupada should have done this thing better, and this is done here better. Something like that he mentioned. And devotees came to Maharaj and they said, "Maharaj, this is what he's saying." And Maharaj went up to him and folded his hands and very gravely he said, "Please leave." And this is something which was everybody was shocked because Maharaj is somebody who will take another step, he will tolerate and everything. But he did not tolerate anything, listening anything against Srila Prabhupada. And he actually was asked to leave. He said, "Okay, I will go tomorrow. I don't have any tickets or anything." Maharaj said, "I request you again, humbly, please leave now." And with so much gravity, he said that he immediately was supposed to leave like that. And he was a very senior Vaishnava, apparently,
Yeah.
but he had to be strong enough to stand up to say,
Yeah.
"Please leave."
That's why our Vedic culture, takes both. One hand you have Shastra, another hand you have Shastra. Both are useful, but we try from Shastra first. That no one listens. That's why we have Shishya. So Shishya means one who is disciplined. If you're not disciplined, so we try from Shastra and then from Shastra. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, let's move forward. Now we have done all the negatives. This was a lot of discussion because I know we come across those things. Now we are coming back to again positives. This is another 22 items. So this chapter 9 explains 23 items. We have discussed one item. Now we're discussing 22 items. Now these items, which we have already seen, we'll discuss in detail now. So items belong to your whole body: voice, taste. So we are discussing all this 18 items here, and we're also discussing these 5 items on this page. Items related to smell, touch, and sight. The 22 items which we're going to discuss. Very beautiful. First is, I'll read Sanskrit first and then I'll translate. So, Dhratir Vaishnav Chinnanam Harir Nama Akshara. So, decorating your body with tilak and tulsi beads. So, I'll read some quotes which Prabhupada has given. Very beautiful. I'll not read the whole thing. This is again all from Prabhupada. I'll just read the quote in blue. It's just to save time, but you should read these chapters. They're very, very beautiful. So Padma Puran, there's a quote written, who have Vishnu Tilak on their forehead are to be understood as devotees of Lord Vishnu in this world. Their presence makes the world purified, and anywhere they remain, they make that place as good as Vaikuntha. So Tilak is considered very, very important. Many examples. A Vaishnav, it says you may not have dhoti, kurta or sari, a complete Vaishnav dress, but it says you must have tilak. Must have tilak. So you may be wearing your pant, shirt, and whatever, but you have tilak. Some acharyas, and I have heard, without tilak, they do not go out. They consider themselves as undressed, like I'm not wearing any clothes. No one goes like that, but they consider tilak is like that. They just cannot step out. And there are examples of Prabhupada in Vrindavan. Prabhupada once was in a room, I think Radha Mother temple, someone came to see him and someone told, this person is coming. Prabhupada immediately looked, oh, there was no tilak. He immediately put the tilak on. Huh? He did not see any other thing like tilak is not there. How can I go out? Huh? So tilak is very, very important. So all of you, as much as possible, my Guru Maharaj said, at least put tilak once in a day. No, it's at least we are talking. Huh? So you may have to go out to work and all that, but when you come back from work, you can put tilak. Huh? One devotee I know, he used to go to work with tilak. You know what tilak? Water tilak. I really liked it. Huh? He said, I cannot go without tilak. I'm like, how do you manage? I asked him, and he said, I put water tilak. So the point here is, now don't put water tilak whole day. Huh? At home, you put gopi chandan. Huh? But the point here is, the principle is so nice. Huh? Put tilak on your body as much as possible. One Maharaj said, if you cannot put tilak during the day, that's fine. He said, put tilak when you're going to bed. That was very nice. He said, put tilak nicely when you're going to bed. Who's going to see you? Huh? It's just you. You sleep in your blanket, put tilak on. Nice big tilak, he said. Put big tilak on your body and then take the garland of Mahagarland of Krishna, of Gopinath, and then sleep. Who's going to check? Huh? And he said, you cannot do Dandavat outside? No problem. He said, when you come home, pray 20 times Dandavat. In your home, in front of your photo, in front of your deity, Maharaj said 20 Dandavats. So the point here is you can do it. You can do it. Huh? Your workplace, you cannot do. That's all right. But at home, you can do. Night time, you can do. So put big tilak while going to bed. If that's the only time you can put the tilak. Skanda Puran. One who have tilak, I'll read this quote. This from Skanda. Persons who are decorated with tilak or gopi chandan and who mark their bodies all over with the holy names of Lord, and whose neck and breast are tulsi beads, are never approached by Yamdutas. So Yamdutas are not going to approach the person. This is written in Bhagavatam as well in the 6th canto, 3rd chapter, where Yamdutas are Yamraj is instructing Yamdutas. The Yamdutas are the constable or King Yama, who punishes all sinful men. Vaishnavas are never called for by such constables of Yamraj. In the Srimad Bhagavatam narration of Ajamil is there, Vaishnavas are beyond the jurisdiction of Yamraja's activities. There's another statement in Padma Puran. A person whose body is decorated with the pulp of sandalwood, with paintings of the holy name of Lord, is delivered from all sinful reactions, and after his death, he goes directly to Krishna Loka to live in the association with Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is very nice. Now, there's some warning here as well. This is by Bhurijan Prabhu. I really liked it, so I'm putting it here. These are outward signs of Vaishnava. One should always wear kanti mala, not as a necklace. Now, this is important. Many devotees wear as a necklace, so you can't see it. Or it should be tight like a dog's collar. So Maharaj is making this comment. Wear kanti mala as kanti mala, not as a necklace. At workplace, you may have some restrictions, but if you can, again, wear it. I've seen many devotees wear at workplace. They go to all the meetings, no problem. They wear kanti as kanti. And actually, no one bothers here. At least in Australia, the culture is so open. No one bothers about these things. Many ladies wear many types of necklaces. Why can't men wear the necklace? The quality of dog is that he is very faithful to his master. And the second point Maharaj is making, without wearing tilak, a devotee should feel himself incomplete undressed. Bhurijan Prabhu, very, very, very senior disciple of Prabhupada. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that it is not the wearing of tilak and tulsi beads that makes one a Vaishnava, one has to have the consciousness of a Vaishnava, but these outward signs should also be there. Huh? So don't just think I can make Yamdutas fool by these signs. But the point is, these signs also help us. Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj gave this very nice example. He said, if you are wearing dhoti kurta, you'll not go to the cinema hall. Because other devotees, other people will watch you. Maybe not devotees, other people will watch you. Are yes, ISKCON wale going to cinema. So not that dhoti kurta itself will take you back to Godhead, but it helps you to remain in a particular consciousness. And Maharaj said, we go to different clubs, we go to school, we go to a particular wedding. Sometimes there's a theme wedding, right? Everyone has to wear a suit. So why do they do that? Because that sets up a consciousness. So when we wear this Vaishnava dress, it sets up a consciousness in our mind, which helps us to become a devotee. Okay, 23rd is Nirmalya Deshacha, accepting flower garlands. So flower garlands which has been offered to Krishna is extremely important. When Maharaj was saying by wearing garlands, offered garlands, we can win over death. Mrityu par vijay prapta karte hain, huh? Just by wearing garlands of Krishna. So this is called Nirmalya. This is, one should put on the flower garlands which are offered to the deity. Srimad Bhagavatam says, Uddhav telling to Krishna, my dear Krishna, I have taken things which you have used and enjoyed. Just for information, Uddhav never wore anything which was not offered to Krishna, including clothes. So whatever clothes dhoti Krishna will wear, Uddhav will take Mahaprasad dhoti and wear that only. He will never wear any clothes or anything which is not offered to Krishna. And we should try to do that as well. Which you and enjoy, such as garlands of flowers, scented oils, garments, and ornaments. And I eat only the remnants of your food, sir, because I am your menial servant. So therefore, I'm sure that I shall not be attacked by the spell of material energy. Just one pastime which comes to my mind. One time, Uddhav, pure devotee of Lord, obviously, he actually looks like Lord as well, Lord Krishna. He's a cousin of Krishna. He looks like Krishna as well. One time, Uddhav is a brahmachari, by the way. One time he saw a girl and he got attracted to that girl, Uddhava. And he is confused in his mind. He said, how can I be attracted to a girl? But he was attracted to a girl. He's looking at the girl. He's thinking about it in his mind. He said, no, 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 not possible, not possible. And you know what his conclusion was? He said, because I am only attracted to Krishna and I'm attracted to this girl must be Krishna. And he said to the girl, are you Krishna? And Krishna said, yes. This is the level of purity of devotees of Krishna. Krishna said, I was just testing you. He said, I cannot get attracted to any normal woman of the world. He said, because I'm attracted to you, you must be Krishna. Look at the purity. Look at the purity. And Krishna is just smiling at Uddhava. And this is a friendly conversation. Sometimes friends tease each other. So this is the level of purity of Krishna, purity of Uddhava. And Uddhava saying, I never accept anything which is not offered to you because I will be protected. So if you want to be protected, if we want to be protected, what we should take? Everything which is offered to Krishna. Never, ever, ever accept which is not offered to Krishna. And one Maharaj also added to that. And do not accept anything which is not offerable to Krishna. One is which is offered to Krishna, which is offered. So if it is not offerable, like, it's not offer. So sometimes we say, okay, altar mein offer nahi karenge because it will not be so pure. But we say, Om Shri Vishnu, Om Shri Vishnu, Om Shri Vishnu. Maharaj added to that. He said, which is not offerable to Krishna, do not accept. So that means the thing should be cooked by devotees, offered by devotees, then you accept. Not just chalega. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale. In the restaurant, you are chanting the mantra and eating. बिल्कुल vegan है. No onion garlic है. No, not allowed. No onion garlic, vegan, this, that, not allowed. Not allowed. It's not cooked by devotees. It's not cooked in a place which is a temple. One time I went to Govinda's. I'll be honest, I'm sharing with you. This is a positive thing. I went with devotees many, many years ago. Anyway, they had ice cream. So we thought, okay, we'll take ice cream. But when the ice cream came, it was really good. And this devotee asked me, I have been to Govinda's before as well. And this devotee was there for the first time. So he asked me, Prabhu, is this made by Govindas or they bought it from outside? I said, I'll be honest, I was wrong. I said, Prabhu, looks like it's from outside, but they must have offered it. Anyway, I sort of knew the cook. So after we had finished the prasad, we went inside the kitchen. We knew the cook. So we went to the cook and we asked, Prabhu, ice cream, did you make or did you buy it from market and offer to Krishna? I knew it was offered, but he said, Prabhu, if you had doubt, you should not come here. If you had doubt, you should not come here. I was glad to hear that response from this devotee. Literally, I was glad. I'm like, this is a devotee. He said, how can you Prabhu even think that we bought from market? We make here every single thing. I was very happy to be chastised by this devotee. He's a devotee. He's a cook. At least he was a cook. I don't know where he is right now, but he was a cook. He said, Prabhu, if you have doubt, you should not come here. I was very happy. This is how confident we should be when we're offering things to each other. If we have doubt, we should not offer to our friends. Prabhu, I cannot offer it to you. I loved his response. Honestly, I loved his response. So this is how we should cook and we should offer to our friends. Not like anything is fine. No, anything is not fine. Okay, I'll just read Prabhupada lines here. Maybe we'll stop there. There is no question of being conquered by the spell of material energy. At the time of death, there is no question of such persons being called by the constables of Yamraj. Even if one does not accept all the Vaishnava principles, but still takes the remnants of foodstuffs offered to Krishna or Krishna Prasad, he will gradually become qualified to rise to the platform of Vaishnava. So it starts from Prasadam. I went to temple not to see the deities, to eat Prasadam. I still go for Prasadam. Prasadam is very, very, very powerful. Jananda Maharaj recently came. He was telling in one conversation many years ago, but very nicely. Maharaj is so good. Things comes from his heart. And he said, you may take the whole tray of Mahaprasad and you will not become Krishna conscious. And I was like, I want to hear more, Maharaj. Just a casual conversation with Maharaj. And he said, if you don't have prasad buddhi, you will not become Krishna conscious. But even if the prasadam is fallen on the floor, it's so-called dirty, if you accept even a little bit of that with prasad buddhi, you will become a devotee. I'm like, wow. Maharaj is just talking. We're not giving a class or something. We're just sitting in the restaurant, just talking a little bit here and there. Maharaj said, you should have prasad buddhi to become devotee. Because you don't have prasad buddhi, you see puri, halwa, paneer ka sabji, you never become a devotee. You should think, Maharaj was saying, literally, I still remember Maharaj said, you should think this has come from the altar and Gopinath's saliva is in the puri, is in the sabji. Gopinath has eaten it and then he has given the remnants. Now this sabji is eaten by Radha Gopinath. And by eating even a drop of that sabji, I am becoming Krishna conscious. And he said, you will become a devotee. He said, it's not about how much externals we do. Maha, 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 maha. Prabhu, bhindi ka sabji dena, karela nahi chahiye. And that sabji has too much tikha, too much masala. Prabhu, wala dena. So we choose all the nice things from Maha tray. And we make sure we are the first one in the queue. We get the best puri, and that puri is, too salty or too tight. Maharaj said, you don't have prasad buddhi, Mahaprasad. Have prasad buddhi, then even the slightest prasad can make you. Sometimes we say prasad and Mahaprasad, we distinguish. But actually, it's our buddhi which is distinguishing it. So anyway, Maharaj's message was so clear and so nice. Have prasad buddhi, prasad, not eatables. This is nice paneer ka sabji, so I'm eating it. Acharya Nistha Prabhu, if you wanted to add something.
Sorry, Prabhuji, just out of curiosity also, I've been told that, if I'm not comfortable, I can put the water tilak till I'm comfortable when I'm going to the office. But out of curiosity, when that day will come that I feel more comfortable going to the office with the tilak, which looks very,
Okay.
very beautiful.
Yes. Yes. Very nice. I'll respond to you what Jadvat Maharaj said once. He was giving a class and some devotee, a preacher devotee, asked Maharaj, how do I convince others about Krishna consciousness? And Maharaj simply said, first you get convinced. So I think this is such a beautiful statement, and this is not about preaching only, it's about anything. If Prabhuji, we are convinced, we can convince anyone. one example of Prabhupada. Prabhupada, when going to West, and other devotees were telling him, Prabhupada, you should start eating with knives and forks and wear pant and shirts. You're going as a preacher, right? And for preaching, anything is fine. Prabhupada said, I don't care. Prabhupada never wore pant in his whole life. He said, I am this. I'm going to present this. If they can take it, they will take it. And people took. People took. Prabhupada never had to wear a pant, shirt, or put a wig on his head and this and that. And I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm not saying many sannyasis have done it and it's absolutely valid for preaching. So there's nothing wrong, I'm saying, right? Even Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj have done many things like that. Even he served meat for preaching purposes. The point which I'm trying to make, Prabhupada is our hero, our celebrity, and if you are convinced, you can convince others. So again, I'm not saying if you're not yet fully convinced and blah blah blah. Yes, we are neophytes. Chaitanya Charitamrita said, my Guru Maharaj mentioned that in one class. He said there are different birds who fly on different heights. There are some birds who fly on a very high altitude, very, very high altitude. But there are smaller birds who only fly on 10-meter levels, right? So we may be those small birds, but every bird has a right to fly. So everywhere you go, preach Krishna consciousness, even if you're not wearing tilak, apparently. But one day it will come when you are fully convinced, then you will not be shy. You will not be shy. Narad Muni is not shy in wandering around with his veena, chanting Narayan. We are shy. Even with the Harinam party, we are shy. So it's just a matter of our own conviction.
Just to add on that, Prabhuji, this weekend only, Sevika Radhika Mataji had a very nice kirtan there, and I had to go out just to pick my daughter. And as soon as I stepped out, because I was wearing a dhoti kurta, two actually non-devotees actually asked me, "Can you give me the number? We want to connect to ISKCON." And I was just by looking at my dress, and I was like, "Wow,
Yes.
I should wear it." And CVA maybe.
Prabhu, I have seen it myself. I'm not exaggerating. Many times I've seen very positively when I was not even conscious of my dress or my tilak. Bus driver have said Hare Krishna to me at airport. One time I was going to drop some Maharaj or someone. Anyway, early morning time. In the airport they have security. They cannot let you park your car for longer time. So I dropped this devotee and the two devotees in my car, and I was sitting in the car, and I thought, I needed some more time to arrange a few things. Anyway, the security guard coming towards me, I'm like, he's going to tell me, get out from here. And you know what he said? Just stay back. And I said, why is he saying that? And then I realized I had a garland on me actually. Because this Maharaj had given me his own garland. And this guard literally said to me, no, you can stay here, no problem. And he folded his hand as well. Probably he's from Indian background or somewhere close. And I'm like, I wasn't even realizing that I had a garland on me because I just wore the garland. And I drove like that. So many times I had very, very positive experience. In the lifts, I had positive experience of people, folding their hands or smiling at me. Positive experience. I have a lot of positive experience with devotional dress and yeah. So it's just we are shy. People are not hesitant to look at you in that form. Okay, let's stop here. I'm 5 minutes over. So we'll continue this discussions next week.